program was pre-recorded.
You've entered the Fletch Nation with Roy Fletcher, political analyst and socio-political prophet, and Kevin Gallagher, TV and podcast host and opinionated jackhole. So settle in, grab a beverage. It's time to talk some politics. It's Fletch Nation. Now here are the boys.
Well, hello again. Welcome to another Fletch Nation. He's Roy Fletcher, by the way.
Yeah. That's Kevin Gallagher.
He's right.
And Kevin has not been paying attention to the news.
I've been involved in a project, and so
Kevin's been making a little money on the side.
I've been unplugged from the news, so hopefully Roy's going to educate me along with you this week on the program. Because, and can I tell him real quick what I've been doing? Because I'm allowed to talk about it. I was under an NDA for a while, but I've been told I can talk about it. I was chosen to do the audiobook narration for a book called Everything Matters in Baseball, the Skip Bertman story.
That's right.
It's a book written by one of the great sports writers in our state, Glenn Guilbeau, along with Leo Honeycutt, who's one of the great writers in our state, period. So it's been an exciting opportunity, but I got to tell you, audiobooks, labor intensive.
There you go, baby.
I'm done whining.
Okay, you done whining. He's going to get the big payday. So it's okay. Everything's good. So, Kevin.
Sir?
Is there any news?
Well, you tell me. What's the latest with the?
Well,
what's the latest with the Mar-a-Lago raid and?
Well, I'm gonna go to something first. That happened in the 19th congressional district in the state of New York yesterday.
All right.
Open seat where Republicans and Democrats ran against each other. I can get their names off of my phone, but I'm not going to do that. The Republican, Democrat, in a district that had voted for Bush, Obama, Trump, and Biden.
Well, that's a mix.
Biden won the district about 2%. No, it's a real swing district. It's a real now, one of those weather vane districts.
What part of the state is the 19?
I think it's kind of upper New York.
Albany, that area?
I think. And I didn't look at it on the map because I wasn't interested in where it was. I was interested in what it was. It is a really, really swing district in the country. The Republicans had a big lead up there. Last night they got beat by 2%.
Oh.
In a swing district that some people say reflects the country. And today the Cook Report has downgraded the number of seats that the Republicans they think will win from 20 to 30 to 10 to 20. And it's because of this race in New York. I think the race was really important for everybody because the Democrat decided to nationalize the race when he was far behind. He decided to nationalize, and both candidates were good candidates, but he decided to nationalize the race and went to abortion and Roe v. Wade, and it changed the dynamics of that race. Really interesting, something that I did not think would happen a month and a half ago when the decision came down. But it's pretty clear to me that this issue has legs in certain parts of the country.
Yes, it does.
And can make or break Republican or Democratic candidates. So, folks, the red wave may not be a very big wave.
I've been hearing this a bit here in recent weeks. Is that the red wave may be more of a little tide coming in?
Yeah, tide coming in. Yeah, we've talked about it. I think the Republicans still take the House. McConnell this week said, or maybe it was last week, late. Mitch McConnell said, look, we got a real fight in the Senate to take it because of the quality of candidates. Well, that was sort of his slap at Trump and MAGA, M-A-G-A, and all that business. That was his slap at it. But here's what's happened in the Senate race over the last week. In Georgia, Herschel Walker has punched a 1-point lead all of a sudden.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, He's really doing.
I'm surprised at that.
By the way, the Marco Rubio poll that had him down 4 was all baloney, complete baloney. I've talked to other pollsters in Florida, and they're saying 10 to 11 point lead for Marco Rubio.
Okay.
Okay, but then you go to Pennsylvania. These are the races that matter here. I'm giving you the races that where the Senate will be decided. You go to Pennsylvania, Mehmet
Oz.
Dr. Oz has closed the gap there and has become quite aggressive with Fetterman, and Fetterman suddenly don't look like the shoe-in that he was. I think that race is going to close to almost a dead heat in the next 2 weeks.
I think no matter who wins that race, you're going to get basically someone with a Democrat mindset representing Pennsylvania.
Well, you may, I can accept that. You probably will. But on the other hand, it matters in terms of the organization of the Senate. Mm-hmm. And it matters about can they hold the line on certain things. In the state of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson has closed that race back up to a dead heat race, and that's going to be a very close race. Now, the other one is J.D. Vance in Ohio against Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan is running a really aggressive campaign. He's the Democrat. He's a congressman. He's running for the Senate. Ryan is going to be. It's going to be a very close race. J.D. Vance probably will win it, but it's going to be a very, very close race. All of these are close. In the state of Arizona, Kelly had an 8-point lead over Masters 2 weeks ago, but that race has started to close. And it probably will close. I don't think that Masters wins that race, but I think it'll be very close. But Masters will probably lose. So those 4 there, 5 actually, I was saying about 4 of them will be Republican at the end. Probably Republican, but all of them will be close. You can probably take 200,000 votes and spread them out between those states and change the outcome of those elections. That's how difficult, how close it'll be.
So the big red wave liable to be a ripple.
Yeah, I think it probably is. It's probably more like a ripple, because I think that I'm going to say it. I'm wrong. I think that Roe v. Wade gives the Democrats a shot, and as they more nationalize the races, that's what'll probably happen. In the South, it'll be a fight over whether or not we have exceptions or not. But in the North and West, it'll be over whether you have the right or not. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of gives you the lay of the land. I wanted to get that out there first in today's program, because it is important to people. Yep. And it is politics.
Yep, and the makeup of the House and the Senate this fall is really going to have a lot to say with who's going to win in 24.
One more point. People talk about Biden's numbers, they're bad. But the fact is that people have separated. This is interesting, because I predicted this is what the Democrats will do, and I can read you about in a moment. But they have separated the Congress from the president.
Oh, sure.
That's what they've done.
Oh, sure.
Okay. That's very hard.
More coming up. Fletch Nation, we're going to take a quick break. Be right back.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
At the Team Automotive Group, we're offering you the Team Guarantee on new and used vehicles. Included with every new vehicle is a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. And now, get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get the Team Guarantee at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Coming to you from the Old School Barbecue and Smokehouse here on Coursey Boulevard in Baton Rouge, the
Wonderful
state's capital.
barbecue.
Oh, my Lord. I'll always look forward to the day we do the show.
And terrific beans. Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy. If you ever come here, and you should, because the barbecue itself is fabulous, make sure you try the bourbon-baked beans.
Unbelievable.
These are all
Just
old school,
perfect.
Homemade recipes. The barbecue sauce is homemade.
Perfect for diabetics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like me.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Kevin, the Republican that got beat in New York last night was Mark Molinaro. Okay. And he got beat by about 2%. I want to make a couple other points about. One is the ability for the American public to separate Biden from Congress is very interesting, and it shows you how partisan the world is, because normally that don't happen. I remember in 1994 when we were trying to separate. I was a Democrat, handling a couple of Democratic congressmen. We're trying to separate from Clinton. It was very difficult to do that in states. I was in Cincinnati in a district up there, Texas. It was very difficult to separate from Clinton, and didn't successfully do it, to be honest with you. Here, however, the American public don't request that the candidates separate from Biden. They're just separating it themselves. Fascinating, very sophisticated strategic voting, just tactical voting.
Are they really, though, or are they just a voter that'll do whatever the hell they're told by their Democrat masters?
No. I think there's a lot of those. Don't misunderstand me.
I have some in my family.
When it's choice between Democrat and Republican, they're going to take the Democrat regardless.
Right.
But I'm talking about independence here. I mean, independence is where these elections are won and lost, and. Not so much in New York, that was a base election, but the point is that independents are calculating this way. And they're not necessarily going, gee, Biden's he's a scumbag and I don't like him and he's terrible and I'm going to vote against every Democrat. They're not doing that. And that's an important message for the Republican Party.
Okay.
They're not doing that.
I got to ask a question about the Democrats. The stuff that is, in my opinion, doing harm right now, as in driving up costs for you and me on everything, is coming out of Congress. So I don't care if they distance themselves from the White House or not, they're doing it. They're just sending him the bill to sign.
That's what they just did, and perhaps that makes it a little bit harder for them. But here's the deal: Democrats have a vision of the world that's completely, and Republicans have a vision of the world that's completely different. I've seen a national poll this week. Private poll, and in those numbers you can see that the Republicans, inflation and recession and crime are really the issue. With the Democrats, it's climate change, gender identity, all that kind of stuff. Wait a minute, what universe are you living in?
Yeah.
Okay? And Roe v. Wade. So abortion. So it's a question of what universe are these two different groups living in? Two different universes. Okay, let's get that straight. And then the independent, or you would show the casuals, they're all over the place. So it's kind of hard to figure out exactly. It's a very calculating decision being made by the American public if this continues on like this. Anyway, I want to say one other point I want to make is last night in the state of Florida and in several other states, school board elections occurred. And in 30 school districts around the country, and most of them were in Florida, the conservatives swept the liberals out of office and control.
Good.
Swept them out in Florida, using all of the DeSantis stuff. And DeSantis was way up in the middle of it. Big deal, I think. More so, even frankly, than the election in New York State. But that be that as may, that's probably an argument somebody would take me up on, and I appreciate that. But the fact is that a bunch of school boards, 25 out of 30 got swept away and moved from conservative to away from liberal.
Why do I think school board elections are significant? Because who's in charge of the school board is who's in charge of school policy. And school policy dictates what kind of adults we're going to have 20 years down the road.
That's exactly what it does, and what's going to be taught and what's going to be emphasized.
Mm-hmm.
And
whether your kids are going to be taught or whether they're going to be indoctrinated.
And what that's right. And what kind of cultural relationship will they have? That, I mean, with the world. I mean, do they view the world like the climate change and what I just went through, or do they view it the other way?
Yep. Are we going to raise up a generation of little what are her names? Greta Thunberg? How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, really
I should be at home with my classmates.
Yes, absolutely.
No, we don't need any more of those. We don't need any more David Hoggs coming out of our schools.
I hope not. So that's the point. Anyway, that's yesterday. Also, this week they had primaries other places. In the state of Oklahoma, the Trump-backed candidate won a runoff election to be the Republican nominee and probably the senator from Oklahoma. So we continue on with sort of the Trump theme. Now, let's deal with the Trump theme.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's deal with the Trump thing.
So, as I've told you, and I've gone through it, there's 3 different locations for problems. New York, which is a civil issue. And sort of a criminal issue for the corporation, the Trump Corporation. In Georgia, there's this question of whether or not they were trying to manipulate the election, whatever the case may be. That seems to be pretty hot. Seems to be maybe Rudy Giuliani might be indicted down there. I don't know. And then finally, Washington, D.C. Now, I got to say, Margot Cleveland, with the Federalist publication. I'm going to use a lot of her stuff here. I want to attribute it to her because I'm making appropriate attribution. Because she laid out a really interesting article. She says, here's the deal. So in January of 2022, and when Trump left the White House, there was a bureaucrat at the National Archives named David Fierro, who saw them carrying out a box, and he had been told, "Oh, they're taking documents," by the White House records people, and he said it made him it disgusted him. So in 2022. He and Jonathan Sue, which is the chief deputy counsel to the White House, have been discussing for quite a while these documents, and Sue gets the President, Biden, to classify them again, overriding the Trump declassification and playing all kind of games with it, as if maybe they're setting up something to do to the president,
No,
former president.
no,
You think?
no.
No, I didn't think so.
No, nobody would do something.
Nobody
something
does
like
that. Okay. So he later on, back in the spring of 2021, he and the National Archives discovered high-profile documents missing when they got some of the documents from Trump. Okay? Yeah, like the Kim Jong-un letter and the Obama letter and the Harry-Condorian map. You remember that fabulous thing? Now, under the Presidential Records Act, those kinds of things can be, they're either presidential records, which are to be in the possession of the archives, or they're personal records. Now, personal records the president can retain, which are like notes and diaries and that sort of stuff. But the problem with it is that the president can declassify it. He can wave his hand over and go, "You are now declassified." And they don't have to go through a process for that. They can do that under that.
Yeah.
Okay? And so that's what one of his defenses are. So in February, there's leaks start coming out, February 2022, that they picked up 15 boxes, and they say they start leaking that there's classified material in the boxes. There's nuke codes in there, and the NARA turns it over to the FBI and the Department of Justice, which immediately starts an investigation. As opposed to what they did under Hillary Clinton, which was they did what they had normally done all the time. Under the Federal Records Act, they went with her, let's work it out with the agency, get them back, we'll work through it, we'll do all of this, we'll be kind, everything be cool. No, they turned this over to DOJ and the FBI. Immediately instigated an investigation. And by March, they were working with them, and on April the 7th, the federal grand jury was impaneled for this, and they began this investigation and start subpoenaing. It's all kind of odd, but the fact is that this was set up over a long period of time. Okay? So the question becomes...
This has been in the slow cooker.
Yeah, this has been in the slow cooker for quite a while. And when we come back, I'm going to put it in the microwave oven and try to speed this up. But I want you to know, folks, that this all has been, they've been working on this for a while, and the White House was deeply involved in it when they have their deputy executive counsel lawyer up in the middle of this. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's... John Solomon reported that in the last 2 days.
And what's the end game? Trump may not run again. That's what they're shooting for. Take a quick break. We're going to be back with more as we continue with Fletch Nation right here on Pelican Broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-50. Confident on and off-road performance and intelligently designed utility inside and out.
The all-new Mazda CX-50 has arrived and is on sale right now at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Okay, we're back, and Fletch Nation returns. And thank you so much for the time you spend watching the program.
This guy, this bureaucrat over at the National Archives, who saw him get on the helicopter leave and saw a box and got all infuriated. This guy and started this investigation. This guy is, since he's retired, is notoriously anti-Trump.
I have a question.
He was anti-Trump before.
Was he able to see what was in the box?
No.
How does he know it wasn't DVDs?
He just assumed that it was it made me sick. It was those records. I got to quote exactly how he said it, but that's what he meant.
That could have been his CD collection. It could have been anything.
And he retired because he was worried about the future political nature of everything, and Trump might come back. And
my God.
He's very anti-Trump.
Crazy.
So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we forget that there was like 3 million or 30 million pieces of paper or whatever it was that was transferred to Chicago for Obama. But wait, listen to this. And then then Obama's decided they didn't want it there, and they transferred it back to Washington, and it's housed in the Hoffman Estates for 2 years. I don't know where it is now. They just technically the National Archives had control of it.
But that's okay, Roy, because I got to tell you, I think it's this, not NT, not Trump. Not Trump. Right.
Not Trump. So the question becomes, what can he be charged with? And it looks to me like it's not Espionage Act, because he's got to have a reason to believe the national defense is at stake.
Okay.
He could be charged some way with obstruction because his lawyer signed and said they didn't have any more, which I don't. The argument there is he declassified it. You just didn't know he did. Well, but the former new president reclassified it. Hey, Dershowitz and everybody in the legal community says that's dangerous as hell. If they allow this, that's dangerous as hell. I think they got a real problem with Trump on this thing, and it may rebound in a way that it harms those people. Now,
well, I have seen a lot of polling that suggests that this whole thing with Mar-a-Lago is hurting the Democrats more than it's helping them.
I think that people, what I have seen is that people agree that an investigation should go on if there was anything done wrong. The question is, what was done wrong, and what was done wrong to instigate the notion that something was wrong? Okay? To me, that's what's happening.
Did you commit a crime to convince us that a crime was committed?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Or was it so vile politically that Well, it may not reach the level of a crime, but it's filthy. Okay? Yeah. That's what. Speaking of filthy, this week it was talked about in New Orleans. The mayor, Cantrell, went to the juvenile court. There was a juvenile there, had been arrested and convicted of
carjacking,
robbery. Mm-hmm. He had a gun, but they dropped the armed robbery thing. He'd done this like 3 or 4 times before. Mm-hmm. The mayor went and consoled not the 5 victims' families, but the criminal's family.
Right.
In front of everybody. What can somebody in this world explain to me what the hell she's thinking?
Roy, she's either abjectly stupid, tone deaf to constituents and their concerns, or she just plain doesn't care.
Or let me give you another. Maybe her constituents agree with her. And she knows that, and she can do that.
Well, not all of them, because plenty of people in New Orleans would like a safer city.
Well, I got to tell you, plenty of people in New Orleans are victims.
Yeah.
Okay? And and by the way, did this, had been arrested 3 other times or 4 times, whatever it was, I can't remember. Did this, and he was out on bond again.
Yes.
Was out on bond again with an ankle bracelet on. Give me a break. Who is running this operation? This criminal justice system is not justice.
By the way, the criminal sheriff of Orleans Parish, she is anything but transparent. She doesn't like to talk to the media. There are some media outlets down there she simply won't talk to, period. Yeah, she won't even send them documents in the email, nothing.
The criminal sheriff.
Yeah.
Don't think that this kind of stuff, we see the crime here. Don't think this kind of stuff that can't happen in Baton Rouge.
If it's not already.
If it's not already.
I mean, we already have multiple offenders that are out on bail when they offend again.
Absolutely. Walking the streets with, quote, an ankle bracelet on. What good does it to know where somebody is, which they don't even know anyway?
No, because the monitoring on those things
What good does it do?
Laughable.
Yeah, it's laughable. It's political. It's done for a reason. It's called money. But what good does it do to know where somebody is if that person is a repeat offender and keeps repeating?
And the young people too, Roy, they just don't care. They have no thought of, well, I'm already in trouble twice over. I better not do it again.
But that's culture. Mm-hmm. That's the failure of people to teach and to hold responsible those who are doing stuff.
The second part, to hold responsible.
Maybe it's the only way you can
do it. Peers don't do it.
No.
Role models don't do it. Teachers don't do it. The law enforcement doesn't do it.
Preachers don't do it.
Nobody holds them responsible for their actions.
No. And it's almost as if life has no meaning, in the sense of the following. You're sticking a gun in somebody's face and stealing their car, and you've done it 4 or 5 times already. You're a lucky young man that you hadn't shot somebody and killed them. Mm-hmm. I respect the fact that he didn't.
And some of the carjackers have.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. In this case, I respect that he didn't. But I mean, the notion that you should charge him with robbery instead of armed robbery, try him on robbery, only to get the conviction. But the conviction is about armed robbery, and that carries mandatory and serious penalties. Mm-hmm. And nobody cares. No, the mayor cares. She went to console the criminal's family, as opposed to the victim.
LaToya,
we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. You can go now.
We'll be right back.
Oh my God.
We're holding.
There's your...
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Gallagher High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're offering you the Team Guarantee on new and used vehicles. Included with every new vehicle is a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. And now, get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get the Team Guarantee at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Hey, we're back with Fletch Nation, and as we tape this, it is Wednesday the 24th.
Somewhere.
And,
it's Wednesday, I know that.
You may see us occasionally looking over there, and it's because there are two TV monitors over there here at the Old School Barbecue and Smokehouse, and one has got Newsmax and the other has Fox News. And so I'm looking at a banner headline, and apparently the president is unveiling his student loan bailout plan.
Well, whatever you call it.
Where I guess, from what I can see, I haven't been able to look at it in depth, but I guess he's going to offer up to $20,000.
What I read before coming over on a tweet was it's like $10,000 for people who are making under $125,000 after they got their degree. Whatever the hell that means.
Okay, so if they consider you rich,
maybe yeah. So if they're making money, they can, you know, if they're making over $125,000, they're gonna pay for it. It doesn't matter. You can play all these games you want to play. So let me give you just a simple thing. A guy goes to trade school, a woman, and becomes a really good pipe fitter. Oh, let's say an electrician. An electrician becomes an electrician and has to go buy tools when she gets out to do the electrical work, right?
Yep.
Like somebody who has to go get a degree, right? The tools are her degree, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, her training and she didn't pay much for going to school because she went to a trade school. So she gets the tools, has to pay $5,000 for them. She has to pay $5,000 for it. She went to borrow the money to get the $5,000, and she pays to get her tools to go to work. Melissa gets a gender studies degree, $80,000 in debt, and she gonna get $20,000 paid off because she ain't making what the electrician's making.
If she's working in gender studies
at all.
If she's
working at all.
I just think this is another terrible idea from the house of terrible ideas.
But Susie, who was the electrician, Susie's having to pay for Melissa's for loan forgiveness.
Yeah, Susie will have to work her ass off on doing people's electric.
That's total garbage. Total garbage.
Yes,
when you start doing this, you are asking for bad outcomes. I had an outcome for this student loan forgiveness. You go and spend 2 years in the United States Army, Marine Corps, Air Force. You give 2 years to your country, and then you can get your debt reduced.
And we'll pay you during the 2 years.
And you'll get your debt reduced.
We'll knock $20K off your debt.
Yeah, that's my deal. That's an offer.
Service to your country.
And by the way, what that does is that it puts people in positions where discipline and respect and responsibility are become the core of what their existence are. And that
structure
might teach them something.
Structure. A lot of young people and older people too, they don't have any structure in their life.
No.
And I have a couple of ideas for this program too. Let's talk about the application process. On the application process, I want to see them ask you two things. One thing is, what's your degree in? And certain degrees, the answer to that question would be, nope, sorry, can't help you. Degree in gender studies? Nope.
Can't help you.
Can't help you. Degree in, what's it Dave Ramsey always says, East German polka studies? Can't help you. Now, if your degree is in, mathematics,
help you.
Science, technology,
help you.
Help you.
By the way,
if you've got a degree that isn't going to engender quick work for you, no, thank you.
By the way, the first question is, do you even have a degree?
Yeah, that would be the most, did you graduate? Did you get your degree?
That's right.
And if you didn't get your degree, sorry, I don't care how much you owe. That's money down the toilet. Bye-bye.
Pay your bill. Pay your bill, pay your way. But yeah, I mean, the degree, because what that does is it incentivizes people to go into certain areas that they can be employable in.
Well,
and not BS.
This just sends the worst possible message to young, impressionable people. And the message is, you've gotten yourself in debt, but it's somehow not your fault. It's the other guy's fault.
That's right. But even more than that, Kevin, that's the second thing. But what it teaches you is you don't have to make rational economic decisions about your future. You don't have to make those decisions because Uncle Sugar is going to be there and pay you off.
Yep.
Okay, for being a doofus about what you chose as a degree. I mean, I'm just saying it the straight way.
Doofus, good word.
Yeah. So that I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever. And then you come to the second part of it, which is what you just said a moment ago. And this is a. I borrowed money to get through college and graduate school back in the day, and it was $1,600. Oh, it's a big amount to me.
Wow.
That's all I could think of. And when I finally went to work, I paid $50 a month till I could pay it off.
But you paid it off.
But I paid it off. I couldn't think about anything else but how do I get that paid off? At the time, it drove my significant other insane because that's all I could think about.
And the cost of a college education has gone sky high, even at public universities.
Like times 10, 20 over the last 20 years.
Find me an instructor at a public university that doesn't make north of $75K.
Well, yeah, and are they worth it?
That's a good question.
Are they worth it? And what are they teaching?
Well, as I said, going into
I'm literally, what are they? What subject are they teaching? I'm not saying content. I don't want to go to content. What are you teaching? What are you teaching? And that's an important question. And the truth is that the future is not in women's studies or gender studies or all. The future is in the STEM stuff. science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yep.
That's the future.
That's where the jobs are.
And that's the way we should want, because we have to compete in a global market against China, and that's all they worry about over there, STEM. We are going to have to train these people, so we need to incentivize people to take that route in terms of education. It's kind of a no-brainer there, but I still think that even after that, you got the right degree. You want your loan cut, 2 years. Give us 2 years.
Another bad idea from the house of bad ideas.
From the house of bad ideas.
And by the way, while we're on the subject of bad ideas, guess what we're doing with Ukraine? We're giving them another lump of money. Another lump of money.
Is this just unbelievable? And they're talking about a winter of, just terrible conditions and all. Oh, we're going to pay for that too. It'll be global cooling, and we got to bail out the Ukrainians on global cooling.
Well, it's climate change.
Well, okay, whatever.
It's one kind of climate change anyway.
Whatever, Kevin. I mean, but you know the point. You know what I'm saying. That's coming. They're starving. They're starving. America, it's your fault.
By the way, if things are so bad in Ukraine, how come the president of Ukraine and his wife can do photo shoots for Vanity Fair?
How come every rock star in the world has been to the Ukraine having a big time? I don't think so. We'll be right back. I mean, we ask these questions, but we're not going to get answers.
Things are seldom as they seem. Coming back.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
We're back with Fletch Nation. Roy Fletcher, Kevin Gallagher, thank you for being with us. If you've been watching this program over the last many weeks, I think this is episode 9 in our first season.
Yep, I think
you've been seeing our ongoing discussions with John Carmouche. Now, he is an environmental attorney, but that's not all that John Carmouche is concerned with. It's not all that drives him. And so Roy has been having these conversations with John, and we'd like to bring you now part 3 of our talks with John Carmouche right now.
We're with John Carmouche here talking about all things Louisiana, frankly, and John is a noted coastal and land and environmental lawyer in our state that's had a tremendous impact on the state of Louisiana and the fight for our coast. John, we were talking in the last segment about dramatic change for Louisiana, and you said one of the things that we need is how we deal with business. In terms of what do you think are the kinds of things that we need to be looking at? It relates to bringing business into Louisiana. Hell, they're leaving California. They're going to Florida and they're going to Texas. How about a little something in between here, you know, for the folks, you know? But that's, what do you think?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about, dramatic change. And it all comes together as one, right? If you can't just change the business environment, you can't just change education, you can't just change crime, you have to have it all.
Right.
And to be honest, why shouldn't we? You know, we live in a great state, we have a great environment for businesses. All we have to do is have enough guts to make the dramatic change. And the first thing businesses look at is all of these CEOs they're getting around the country is the first thing to ask is, what's the education like? All of these people have kids and have families. The next thing is, what's the crime like? So
that's not good.
Even though the business, you might give tax deductions to businesses that done in the past, if we don't change the core of what these families, why these families want to move here, they're not going to come. They're not going to come. So you got to change it all. You got to change your education. You got to change. Why is there so much crime here? I mean, come on. This is something that has to be changed, and it can be changed.
Well, one of the things that people may not know about you is that your father was a district attorney for, I think, 6 years down in the 23rd Judicial District. Is that right? Yeah, okay. That's Ascension, and St. James parishes, yeah. Don Carmouche. And we have witnessed an extraordinary explosion in violent crime in Louisiana. I mean, what do you think has created this situation, and what do you think we can actually do about something that's so pervasive in our bigger cities in Louisiana?
Well, first, education. Number 2 is we have to be hard on crime. For some reason, I think we've gotten the concept wrong of we just let people out on bail for smaller amounts. We ignore major crimes in Louisiana. We need people to know here, if you commit a crime, you're going to be punished. And I think we've gotten away from that concept and actually educating kids in these schools. And to be more frank, in the jails and in the prisons. Some of these kids go to jails and prisons and they're there for a year and they're sitting around doing nothing. They work. Why can't we educate them? Not only education school-wise, math, like you talked about reading.
But culturally.
But culturally, and to understand that when you do these things, you give up the rest of your life and you give up your freedom. There's things that we can do in these prisons and in these jails. I was on the board of the Donaldsonville Marine Institute. It was a program where instead of sending these kids to jail when they were minors, they had an opportunity to go to this program and go to school from 7:30 to 7 at night. It was a Marine Institute started in Florida, and it was in other states.
Like the U.S. Marine Institute.
Well, I mean, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
but
military.
It was a military school.
Yeah.
Not military in nature, but they educated them, and they understood that there's an alternative here, and the alternative is actually living in a way that you can be proud of yourself and be proud of your family and have a family. And a lot of these kids don't realize that that's available to them.
Yeah, and I guess the other part of it is that you have an entire economy that there has to be opportunity.
There has to be opportunity, and we've lost big businesses, and I'm not going to mention names, because they couldn't hire the quality of people because they didn't want to come here because of education.
Yeah.
And you know, in schools and places to raise their families.
Yeah. Now, how do you see the whole thing for Louisiana going forward? And not only just the coast, which is what your primary concern is with, but it's sort of the whole thing. What happens if we do the coast? What do we look forward to? What can we look forward to?
Well, first, we need a leader, and we need politicians to quit being politicians and be businessmen and work together. Too many smart people in Louisiana, and actually wake up and fight for what we live for, which is family and culture, right? So we need someone to wake up every morning to fight and go out and seek the best. We deserve the best. And we want the best businesses, we want the best education. We wake up every morning, I see this leadership, and we wake up to mediocrity. And that's been satisfactory for this state. But I think that has to change. It
Different world now, isn't it?
It has to start at the top. And the top, if we don't have a leader, if you don't have a leader in schools, you don't have a leader in politics, you don't have a leader in businesses. It's all the same. People don't realize it. It all starts at the top, and it trickles down, and we need to be fighters. We need to win. And to win, we have to want it. And I think this state now sees we can have it, other states have it, and we can win.
You know, there was a politician that used to have a slogan called, "Why not the best?" I forget who it was, but needless to say. John, I appreciate you being with us, talking with us, and we'll see you around some more. Thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
Roy, only about 30 seconds left in the program. We always appreciate our access to John Carmouche. Fascinating guy.
I like hearing.
We didn't get any time to talk about Liz Cheney, my friend.
Liz Cheney. A poll was done, a national poll that came out yesterday. Had her as a third party. And what happens is she takes votes away from Biden. She gets 11%.
Liz Cheney?
Yeah, Liz Cheney.
All right.
She takes votes from Biden. Please, Liz, run.
Well, that's our show for this week. We thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, we can always catch it on YouTube on the Pelican Broadcasting page. Roy?
We'll see you next week.
Until next week, adios.
You've been listening to Fletch Nation with Roy Fletcher and Kevin Gallagher. Remember, if you heard something that ticked you off, upset your sensibilities, or threatened your precious safe space,
the opinions expressed by the hosts and guests are purely their own and do not reflect those of this radio station or its advertisers.
So if you're calling a lawyer, or planning a boycott, or a cancel campaign, forget about it and join us next week for more Fletch Nation.